Welcome into the CitrusTV studios for a special web edition of Cuse Countdown. I'm Paul Mancano alongside Sean Onwualu and Nicole Hansen, getting ready to talk about Syracuse and Notre Dame at MetLife Stadium on Saturday. First off, guys, Syracuse is coming in at 2-2, Notre Dame at 1-3. Who would have thought at this point in the season Syracuse would have a better record than Notre Dame?
Literally no one thought this. I mean, Notre Dame has had a great pass in the past couple of years, especially in the Brian Kelly era. They're just really have been doing really well, and no one thought they would have lost to Duke. No one thought that Syracuse would be ahead of Notre Dame in any situation, and I think it blew fans' minds and reporters' minds and the media's mind alike.
Yeah, no, I don't think even the most hardcore Syracuse fans would have predicted this schedule or record difference.
And maybe the players were a little bit surprised as well. They spoke a little earlier on in the week about their matchup with Notre Dame, and their praise of Notre Dame and that Brian Kelly coach squad was pretty effusive.
Very explosive, very talented, especially at the quarterback position. Number 14, he's got a cannon. Really good receivers. Definitely create some mismatches. Running backs run hard, so it's going to be a tough task on us this Saturday.
Okay, yeah, it's a big game, great opportunity, great team. So it's going to be fun. You wake up, you dream of games like this, but we have it this weekend. It's important because this is the game that we got this weekend. We're just going to focus on doing things we got to do to come out victorious.
They're really good, and they're wounded. They got some controversy going on over there. What normally happens in those situations is, just like in the cowboy movies, you circle the wagons and you find out who wants to fight and who doesn't want to fight. So we're going to get an angry mama bear that's been wounded, that's going to be fighting and clawing and coming out with all they have, and really wish they wouldn't have done anything and wish they would have won the game last week. So we're going to get their best shot, there's no doubt.
Gotta love the Dino Babers analogies, guys. But Syracuse coming into this matchup, going against 1-3 Notre Dame. Dino Babers talked a little bit about it. What do you guys think? Is this Syracuse's best opportunity to take down a top flight program in Notre Dame?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think that Syracuse has any chance against the Florida States or the Clemsons of the world. They're just too dominant for this team, too dominant for them to even have a chance at with the defense that they have going right now. And Notre Dame is such a high-profile team, and even if they're not doing well like they are this year, they're still a team that if you beat them, it's still going to be a really big deal for the Syracuse.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. Like, even though Notre Dame isn't at their top right now, they're still Notre Dame. If you look back in the history books, they're still one of the premier programs in college football. So Syracuse beating them, even if Syracuse currently has a better record than them, it's still going to mean something, like, if you look back on this game.
And guys, one of the players that Syracuse is going to need to rely heavily on if they're going to want to beat Notre Dame, wide receiver Amba Ezigbo. He has been absolutely phenomenal this year. He's put up some eye-popping numbers. You take a look at his stats this year compared to his entire career at Maryland, and it's not the same player. He already has more touchdowns. He could break his total yards if he plays very well against Notre Dame on Saturday. He has been absolutely tremendous. Did anybody expect this level of success from Amba Ezigbo?
Absolutely not. I mean, you see the numbers from Maryland. You see what he was before. And coming in, this was just another player that they had gotten, another recruit, a possible recruit that was going to maybe turn out well, maybe not so much. And I don't think anyone saw this coming. I mean, who can say that they would have seen record-breaking numbers from him coming in?
Yeah, no, not at all. Like, when I was looking at, preseason depth charts and all this stuff, I don't even remember hearing who Amba Ezigbo was. I didn't know who he was in, like, over the summer or anything like that. And then, game one, this man he's the man for Eric Dungey. And it's kind of crazy how he just, like, showed up, and now he's just the number one option for him. I enjoy it.
He's been definitely the number one option for Eric Dungey. What has his production meant to the Syracuse offense?
I think it's meant everything for it. I mean, Dungey has built a relationship with a receiver, and chemistry goes a long way in quarterback and receiver combinations. And every single game, he's been able to break the 100-yard mark. So I mean, what he means to the Syracuse offense is he means a lot. He is a good part of the passing game.
He's not just a good part of this offense. He is literally everything to this offense. If it wasn't for him, the players that we would have expected to step up, like Stephen Ishmael or Irv Phillips, they're not producing as much as the team would have expected going into this season. So Syracuse would not have even been lasted nearly as long as they have up until this point if Edetawa was not stepping up and producing the way he's been producing. They'd be nothing.
The most important question going forward, though, can he keep this production up? What do you guys think?
I think that it's definitely possible. I think, he have the kind of games he's been having, like the record-breaking games last week? Probably not. But he has consistently been putting up good numbers the past couple of games. I have a feeling that they would have faltered a little bit if it wasn't able to be kept up in this way. And I think that he really will be able to be a consistent presence on this field, especially if some of the other offensive players are not really going to step up as much as Dino Babers might have liked to have thought at the beginning of the season.
Oh, I definitely think that he will sustain this production because there's Syracuse's second game against Louisville. He was still able to pull off 103 yards, 8 receptions, and 2 touchdowns against Louisville, which is one of the top 5 teams in the nation. So looking at the rest of the schedule, I definitely think that his production can definitely be sustained.
All right, Nicole, Sean, let's get to the game on Saturday, Syracuse and Notre Dame. What do you guys think are the keys to the game if Syracuse wants to pull out a victory against the Fighting Irish? Nicole, let's start with you.
I think Cole Murphy, the key to this game here, special teams might not be what everyone would have thought would be the most important factor, and it might not be, but Cole Murphy didn't have a great game last time against UConn, only went 1 for 3, and Notre Dame's special teams also been struggling a little bit as well, so I think the game's going to be kind of close. Both are going to be able to score a lot considering the defenses are kind of weak on either side, so I think a field goal or two could really be the key to this game, and if Cole Murphy misses a couple field goals, that could be a loss for Syracuse.
Yeah, my key to the game is going to have to be defense because, as you said, both teams are pretty weak on defense. And if Syracuse allows this game to be a shootout, they will lose a shootout. So I think that if the Syracuse defense can, bring their A game like they did against UConn or bring a better game, I think they'll be all right.
All right, guys, moment of truth here. Who wins Saturday? Sean, let's start with your prediction.
I'm going for upset. Even though Notre Dame's 1-3 and Syracuse is 2-2, I'm saying Syracuse pulls off the upset. I got them 35-21. I think the Syracuse defense will be energized off of a good win against UConn. Prevent a shootout situation, from happening. And I think the Syracuse offense will be able to have their way with the Notre Dame defense, and Syracuse will pull off the win.
I love the optimism. I cannot say I agree with it, though. I'm going 41-34 Notre Dame. I think this is really going to be a game between Dungey and Edetawa and Kaiser and St. Brown for Notre Dame. It's really, those are the dominant pairings on each side, and it's really going to be how many times can these two connect with each other on either side, whether they're going to be able to get past the defense and really make this work, and I don't think the defenses will show up for either side, so it'll be a high-scoring game, but it's not looking good for Syracuse.
All right, so we're split on our predictions there. Sean Onwualu, Nicole Hansen, I'm Paul Mancano. That does it for our webisode of Cuse Countdown. Have a good night.